No, okay.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We will return to open session at 6:42 p.m. And it looks like the next thing on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. So any changes or additions or? Do you have to have a motion for that one?
We don't, you can just
Okay.
hearing none and approval.
Looks like the agenda is going to be approved as presented. Next is the consent agenda. Any questions or concerns about that?
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I've got a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Laura?
George,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Soren,
Yes.
Russ,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Do we have any patron comments online or?
I do
Okay.
not.
Oh, you have
Oh,
to
we
be
do
able
have to
admit.
admit. Oh, Brenda.
Fine. Where is she?
You can just click it up top.
I think you can just hit admit. Yeah, the blue button.
There we go.
You just hit those three ellipses. And you about halfway down it, you should be able to pin us. There you go.
Patron comments? We'll move right on into reports.
Hey. Well, it's kind of a long one. Try to be fast. I don't need to read it word for word because you guys have read this. But I will say I've asked Keenan to supply me with facilities updates, and in the spring, I'm going to have him start presenting to the board. He is the leader of the facilities, and so he's going to be here to present and just, answer questions if there's questions and that kind of thing. Trying to kind of build that leadership, that team. And so quite a few new things, lots of new lights. The gym floor resurfacing is scheduled for spring break, which is great because sometimes in the summer, there's so many things happening, especially summer school. If we get that, the fall sports are started, and it'll be great to have that done ahead of time. Converting all those fluorescent lights, getting the flag light on the pole on the north side of the gym, new fountains in the play shed, the new DEF tank and electric pump installed at the bus barn, which is going to be a huge savings long term. New gutters, which has made that whole metal wing extremely happy, so there's not water spewing off all over everyone. And then hoping to be able to budget for new gutters all around as we move into summer. Scheduling and systems. I know we've talked about this probably every month, but making sure that our tiered interventions are in place within that master schedule, and they're operational. We've also added tutoring for math. We already have tutoring for reading in the afternoons for elementary, but we have a 4th through 6th grade Wednesday tutoring session with Miss Mason after school. And after spring break, we will have middle school and high school, and there will be 4 sections, 2 levels at the middle school and 2 levels at the high school. And we have Mr. Schlechter is going to conduct a couple of those, and then we're hiring out some new math teachers who are willing to work for an hour once a week to make sure that we can serve all of the kids because we have a pretty wide range of needs. With math being one of our initiatives, really need to bolster that. Mac survey week is this week, and they send you the email the day before. We did not receive it today, so it's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday.
What is the max?
Oh, sorry, that is the Medicaid administrative. So basically, all of the services we provide to kids, or any kind of connection to OHP or to mental health services or dental services, anything health related. We go through a survey that day, and you code it according to what service you might have talked to them about or provided them with. And there are different codes, A through E, and depending on how many are done, and it's every staff member for that day, and it's on every 15 minutes. Basically, OHA pays you for that.
Okay.
Yep. And you do it quarterly.
Oh.
Yep. So this year we will do a winter one and a spring one. That's all we'll have. But next year we'll be on track for all of them. You can, depending on who you're serving and how much you do on that day, you can make tens of thousands. Some places can make 100,000.
Wow. Great.
Yeah. And then whatever those funds are accumulated for the year, then you can use those for anything health related for the kids.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yep. So we talk about maybe more mental health access supports, or talking about putting in a fitness center for our kids. All of it. It all pertains. What?
A weight room. That's actually a weight room.
It's actually a weight room. We're working on it. One of the many, many tasks. Continue to do our book study. It's not as popular as I was hoping that it would be, or not as well received, but we're still doing it. And it's a great opportunity for those who want to partake in it. Talking about how we work with kids, how we show up for kids, and why that's really important. And how every single bit of our energy impacts our kids. It's just a great, easy read and kind of a fun way to get together once a month and talk about the chapters and the message in that book. We've done an extensive special education IA training. So those are the people who work closely with our students on IEPs, and, you know, just evaluating what was done before and how to improve that and level up a little bit. And so making sure that every goal and progress monitoring is aligned and tracked every day, making it really meaningful in terms of how we can do our progress monitoring reports and ultimately how we serve those kids. So that has been great. Definitely on track for some more success there. Cyclical monitoring. I think it was Soren had asked about what our non-compliance was in the cyclical monitoring. And we are in compliance now. We went through and did some trainings and got those updated. Basically, when they go through all of the reports and the files that they request from us, there were a few students that they couldn't find that we proved that our staff had access to their IEPs. So I went through and showed them how they have access in all the different ways and how it's reported to them in the meetings. And they said, oh, great, you're in compliance. So they marked that off.
And this is SPED staff
It is.
or
SPED student files. They didn't think that both SPED and general ed staff. Yeah, everyone. Mhm. And how did we ensure that every single person had access to those files?
Okay.
So we showed them that how they have access through Synergy, how they have access at the beginning of the year when they meet with the teacher, all of that. And
Okay.
somehow they had just missed for 2 of the kids.
Okay.
So we cleared that up, which was great. That was my first time through the cyclical monitoring. A little stressful. Working through Inflection Leadership Collaborative. They're going to be here on April 13th. Next board meeting, he will present. We're doing a staff training before that, and then we're going to do the student engagement that Thursday during advisory. That will be the final piece that will then lead into the blending of the strategic plan that you guys already have in place and making that final document so we can get that published.
Is that the activity that we did?
It is, but it's also really at this point just the survey.
Okay.
He's going to present the idea. What is this, Think, Know, Act, Go? What is the idea behind that? What's the idea behind shared values and shared vision? And then he's just going to really promote. He's going to ask all of you guys to have 5 of your people fill out that survey. Don't have to do the art project, but the survey. We are going to have the kids do it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're going to have the
Okay,
kids do
good.
it.
Oh, I
Actually,
want to
it's
explain
quite
that.
fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Even
it
though
was.
the art was horrendous.
I was going to say, it was fun because you were the artist and I didn't have to do
Not
that.
the students.
But really just kind of one final push to get that information out. So yeah. So that's all happening then. Okay, this is a long one. Feedback. The potential transition of the 6th grade to middle school model. I know I did put a little PowerPoint together for that. This is a summary of the input. So lots of great feedback. I think we had 36 at the time. There were a few more have trickled in, but there were 36 people who took the survey, gave feedback. many, I think over 60% feel strongly that like it'll be a good move and it's great. The biggest concerns are the transition. How are you going to ensure that the kids know how to be successful in middle school? And I had anticipated that. We're going to do orientation in the spring if we go through with this, and then another one in the fall right before school starts. And it's what I used to do with the freshman orientation, but it's really like that. We're going to walk through, going to show you how to lock or how to get into your locker, how to go from this period to this period. What items do you take? How do you organize your binder? How do you use the bathroom at appropriate times? So just, how do you use your planner to stay organized? All of those pieces. And we're working hard to get the schedule built so we could truly have a middle school lunch and a high school lunch. Because I think that was the other piece that they were a little concerned about. Okay. You're going to have to be my fan on this though.
Yeah.
I just summarized all the data points in the board report so you can read through those more if you'd like. The other piece is making sure through that vertical alignment that we are making fourth and fifth graders truly ready academically, rigor, organization, accountability, those pieces, which I think really should be K-12, but definitely hitting those grades. So mostly, let's see, more school staff than parent or guardian. You can just move through those ones pretty quick.
We're 21.
Okay.
Tell me when. Going.
So it's interesting though, 61% didn't have, or they said it wasn't applicable if their children attended. And so I don't know if that means that it's none of our business or or if it just, they don't have children. I'm not sure.
Or maybe they don't have children in the sixth grade.
There's
a lot
right.
of assumptions you
Yeah.
can make. on
Exactly.
that.
And I didn't spell that out. So go to the next one. But overall, how do you feel about exploring the idea of locating the sixth grade self-contained class to a true middle school? 50% very supportive, about 28% somewhat supportive. They had some questions in there. 14% unsure, probably need a little bit more information. And then I don't think you can hover over this because it's not live, but there was a few that have a little concerns, which is valid. Okay, next. The biggest, I guess, benefit was easier transition to seventh because then you'd just be in middle school, it's starting earlier. I think the other piece was the increased access to electives and just change of pace, I guess. There was an other box, but then no one put that in. So I don't know what the specifics were. Let's see. Access to specialized staff or resources. Just, you're going to have 7 teachers. You're not going to have 1. You're going to have more IAs. You're going to have more, I guess, variety. So that can be seen as a benefit. That's also some of the people's biggest fears because that's a lot of change for a kid. So next. You just hit the arrow.
But why
Yeah.
is it doing it?
I don't know. Is that
Are they
frozen?
concerned it's the biggest change because they're a year younger than the change in 7th grade? Because I
Right.
mean,
Right.
we all change at some point.
Yeah,
I
you
did
gotta
change
change
at
at
7th grade. I mean,
Yeah.
we went K through 6 and then 7th and 8th.
Okay.
But everything you talked about, they took us to the junior high to walk through, showed us the lockers, right? I mean, I guess my concern is, or my question would just be like, is your concern because they're 11, not 12?
Right.
Like, is that 1 year of maturity that crippling
Mhm.
factor? I don't know.
I remember middle school when I was in middle school started at 5th grade.
Yeah. Right.
So
Some
it was
do.
5-8.
Right.
Yeah, I've not seen that, but good
That was a
for
long
you.
time ago.
Well.
Here we go.
Okay, so if this change were to happen, what's most important to you? And so the careful planning and supports for those transitions, which 100% I agree. Almost 66% need that, which yes, 100%. Maintaining strong educational services in the special education department, which would be true because our SPED department is K-12. I don't know if everyone knows that, but it is K-12. It's not a separate elementary, separate secondary. Access to electives and enrichment, 20%, but not as high as I actually thought it might be. It's interesting. But the other big one is helping students feel safe, included, and supported, which absolutely, and that's every grade level, really. Okay, next. At this point, what best describes how you feel? 70%, just under 70%, would support moving forward with this. About 28% feel like they need a little bit more information before forming an opinion. And there's a small slice that do not want this. So I don't know who those people are, and it would be great to kind of set up those one-to-one empathy interview, whatever you want to call it, and find out what are the hesitations, or is it just going to be hard no matter when the kid goes to middle school, you know, because that's hard.
Could a next step be a follow-up with this information out to
Yeah.
requesting that feedback from those people?
Yeah. And if these things are in place, does this change how you feel?
Okay.
Yeah, I actually spoke to someone recently who was very concerned
Uh-huh.
because it had been tried in the past and it didn't work out. They're like, how is it
Yes.
gonna be better this? I said, well, Stacy's gonna tell us tonight exactly what's gonna be different.
Right.
I can go back and tell her like what's gonna be different, and so that
And that was actually several times that it came up on the question, how can you know, or how can you be sure that it'll be better this time? And I think for me, I need to know, why didn't it work before? Because I don't know any of that.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
I was just gonna say, I think the other thing is, I think it's great for you to know those things. It's also great for us to know those things as well. I know you're sharing them, but this is where I would say to the community, come engage in a patron comment. Tell us that. It's okay to talk about operations in a patron comment and tell us that and advise us. And we're not all knowing. We're never
Well,
going to be.
Also, with 36 responses, it's one person. So, like,
Right.
that would not support it. So
Right.
that's the percentage breakdown.
But
Yeah.
that one person could have very, very valid concerns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Might not
Yeah.
have
Well,
thought
I'm
of
just saying,
and
though,
need to
by
consider.
Right.
Yeah.
36 responses is not very many
Right.
in the grand scheme of things. There's
Yep.
22 kids in the current sixth grade class, or 23, right?
It's a big
So-
class.
Yeah, it's the biggest class in the school.
Yeah. So the incoming fifth, it's like 14
Yeah.
or 12, 14.
But like, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like every survey is always a learning experience and how to expand the survey.
Yeah.
So I think simply another survey that breaks down more clarity of
Mhm.
what are your main concerns if you feel you don't wish to move forward.
Yeah.
What are your concerns about moving,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, sometimes you put out a survey and you realize, oh my gosh, there was this one question that nobody seemed to really understand.
Right.
I'm not saying that happened.
No. It
yeah,
was
and I had
pretty.
trouble with the person I spoke to, like getting specifics. It was more just the
Okay.
generalized. I don't like the idea. It
Yeah.
didn't work before. I'm like, well, what specifically happened before?
Yeah.
It just didn't work. Like,
As a parent of a sixth grader, I would just say that I think this survey, if you now build a plan
Mhm.
around what you think the implementation looks like,
Yes.
and then put that out in survey form or a comment and question form,
Yes.
then it would probably, the people who need more information would then see it.
Yes.
And the people with concerns might still say, hey, I'm not for this. Or even some without concerns might say, you know what, I'm not for this.
Mhm.
But that would be my thought.
Okay. I like
think
it.
My heaviest concern would be that increased rigor, because we haven't supported students to date the level they need supported to make that transition happen
Yeah.
next year. So it's a little bit extra scary the first
Mhm.
year
Mhm.
as we learn how to prepare them better.
For our staff, our students, and the
All,
right, like,
Right.
yeah,
it's not-
all the way around.
Right.
Yeah. How do we
That's a good
support?
perspective.
Like, what are we doing
Yeah.
right now in the fifth grade
Well, and
class?
how do we How do we support a parent at home? Like,
Yep.
there are definite organization skills
Yes.
and homework study skills, and sometimes creating a safe, quiet place to do homework away from,
Right.
just things that parents can do. So what can we do to support the parents in that also? So
Exactly.
that's, yeah.
So a follow up. I think that's great.
And I think every child's different. So every
Yeah.
parent's going to be different. I think some kids are 11 already and some aren't.
Yep.
But some at 12 already and some.
I was gonna say.
Right.
Yeah.
Every
Yes.
kid's ready to drive at 15. They say they legally can.
Should they know?
No, sorry.
No, that's great. And I think the overall finding is just that, like, a lot of support for it, a lot of also some concerns, and truly what people need is more careful planning. That's been relayed to them, and they can ask the follow-up questions from that. So I will craft another follow-up survey, and it might be more just open Q&A. Here's the statement, here's the action steps, kind of like I laid out in here.
With your guidelines, is it possible to do a hybrid sixth grade that didn't have 7 teachers but had like 4? I
Potentially,
mean,
and
I don't know.
to be honest, it probably will be more like 4,
Mhm.
just because of our numbers.
Mm.
Mhm. I think it depends on who is hired for that middle school position, if that's where we go.
Right.
What's their skill set? Are they going to be better at like a language arts and social studies block kind of situation? Is it going to be more science focused, and then our science teacher can free up and do more electives? There's a lot of variables there depending on the experience of the teacher.
I mean, are we currently right now letting middle schoolers still do electives with high schoolers?
Some, it's limited. It's mostly middle school alone. I think art is the only one that they blend. Yeah. And a total rework of the master schedule is necessary, because right now you don't have everyone offering electives at the same time.
Right.
So you'll have a period with like 1 or 2 electives. And then over here, you only have 3 electives because of the way preps are set up, but you have all 6 classes who need an elective.
Mhm.
It doesn't align.
Regardless of whether you bring 6th grade up, do you feel that a rework of the master schedule is required?
It's happening. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one way or another.
It is happening no matter
Things
what.
like that
Yes.
happening, which makes,
Yes.
does that
Right.
make 6th grade easier to fit into it since you're doing that rework? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Good question. Okay. Let me get past this. So I've already talked about budget season is upon us. So working on our first round, March 11th with Stephanie and Asbo up in Salem. Absorbing positions, that's been underway. It's actually happening already. And just to give some shout outs to the people who have willingly taken on all these extra roles. With the recent resignation of the high school registrar, and trying to think, she had a few titles in there.
She was AD secretary in
Mhm.
high school.
And Anyway, she had a few different roles, but Laura has absorbed the elementary registrar. Carol has absorbed the health assistant for the K-12, the attendance and immunizations. Kayla has absorbed the secondary registrar and is the Edmentum online manager. Roxy has absorbed the absence management and substitute coordination piece, which used to be a stipend. I absorbed the media and communications, which also used to be a stipend, and no longer stipends. And then Tim and I absorbed all the discipline on that Tuesday, Thursday situation, and working to hire for this dean of students for next year, which is the discipline piece. So a lot of absorption, but also just becoming efficient with what we have.
Okay, I have one more question.
Yeah.
for you. Well, I have a few, but this one specifically is this structural change. Do you feel like you're getting the support you need? And it's kind of going towards your vision of what you want to see happen? Okay.
Yeah, I do. This has been a hard year, but I think it's going to, it's actually it's great. It's kind of creating space for the vision so that we can make things work and in a financially responsible way. Yep. Also, Learn at Home is exploring the proposal of expanding to 7th grade. There's a huge demand from the current 6th grade that wants to stay within Learn at Home. So they're exploring how this could work through without hiring an additional teacher through the blending. So looking at that option. Just laid out discipline a little bit different. We found a new report that gave us some easier data to analyze. Still looking at defiance and disruption as our main causes of concern. And I think it is a trend across schools in Oregon, and I think even across the country. And then I just broke it out by grade. Don't want to break it out too much more because some of those grades are really small, and that can be identifying. As far as our majors, a couple in-school suspensions, 3, I believe. no out of school suspension, and then a level 1 assessment. Attendance data, again, all buildings and learn at home.
Can I ask a quick question? I may have asked this before. Level 1 assessment?
Yes,
I feel like I asked this once and I think.
So with our intervention team, we have it's BSAT. Don't ask me what I can't remember right now. But it's the we don't really call them threat assessments anymore. It's behavioral assessment, safety like protocols. And so it's about a 20-page document that goes through, and we interview students, we interview the student's family, we interview teachers, we interview peers, and sometimes an incident comes up or is reported. And if it's posed as a threat of any kind, then we launch a level 1. And if that level 1 ends in a founded threat, then we move on to level 2, which is bringing in additional resources to go through that process. And sometimes there's safety plans put in place, and sometimes there's removals, and just depends on the situation. Yeah. Okay. Attendance, again, we have some students who have some serious attendance issues. We're also doing really well in some areas. And again, I know we can run campaigns. The state has a lot of materials for attendance campaigns. I truly believe we have to build programs and an environment that kids want to be part of. They need to feel good. They want to be here. And I think we have work to do in that area. I think we have great programs. I think we can build more. I think we need to continue to develop our classroom environments that are really healthy. And that's what we're all working on.
Have the questions, this is Operation, you can tell me to zip it, but have questions been asked for those 5 less than 49%
Yeah.
to make sure that there's no other resources that we need to support?
So we have a great family liaison through the Minto, and she's actively involved, reaches out to family, does home visits, offers resources that are necessary. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. Good question, though. And mental health supports and just all of those pieces that might be in play. Okay, professional development, a lot of pieces coming up here. So Synergy Conference. Synergy isn't just our attendance and registration. It's also every report we run for ODE. It's all of special education. It's all of the guidance counselor, transcripts, tracking, making sure kids are on track to graduate and we don't lose anything through that process. So we have a Synergy training coming up on Thursday and Friday.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Yeah.
Back to attendance. Is attendance absent all day or absent at beginning of school day?
So there's half days and they count half and full.
Mm-hmm.
So the morning absence is going to be the whole day. If they have to leave for, is it 12?
Elementary is AM, PM absence for attendance.
Mhm.
So they can be tardy to school up to 10 a.m. Anything after 10 a.m. until noon is considered AM.
Absent.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense? And then same with afternoon. If they leave before 2:00, I think it is, then it's a PM absence. And then the secondaries are by period.
But on
And
this
then they-
chart, I guess what I'm asking on this chart, when they're absent, are we recording, let's say high school, for example, if someone has an orthodontia appointment in the afternoon and they leave, is that an absent for the day marked? Or for the period
think
marked
it's
if we're
only-
reporting by period? I guess I'm only curious because like I know when I take a child to a doctor appointment or something, they miss a couple of hours. Are we seeing that data in this percentage breakdown, or are we only seeing kids that miss the entire day of school?
That is actually a great question because Synergy generates this for us. And I don't have that answer.
Because it could make an extreme difference.
It could.
Like, what brace is getting removed is 2 or 3 appointments in a week, but it's that
Right.
1 week. Is that showing us extrapolated data like they had 3 absences and now they're at like 60%? I was just
I'm wondering if this is, that's a really good question. I don't know how it does it with the period.
It's just
Yeah,
hard for me to
so-
believe that we would have like this high proportion of students that are in school less than half the time, where 50 is less
Right.
than 60% of the time. I mean, like, it seems to me that that's a big number. So I'm just curious what we're looking at, because otherwise, you know, maybe we're not as concerned as we are if we think they've actually missed
That whole
5 full days a month.
right.
Mhm.
And maybe they missed 5 hours of school that month instead of
Right.
5 full days.
Mhm.
I don't know.
We could ask this at our synergy conference.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was just thinking
I
that.
mean, because in all honesty, we sometimes get data, but we can only read the data as
Mhm.
Understand how it's actually.
Yeah.
well as it's being implemented, right?
Very
Or as
true.
rural as we are, an orthodontist appointment takes
3 hours.
Holy-
It's a half a day,
I
yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy, and you can't get them out
No.
of school hours, right? Like it's
Yeah.
frustrating,
Yeah, absolutely.
That is true.
very frustrating. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good question. We will find an answer.
Mhm.
Back to
Um,
OSSA.
Okay. Yes. So I'm on the OSSA board. We are right now planning for the small schools conference. I did miss the first meeting because I had an issue here I had to deal with, but I am on that planning commission. There's wide open spaces for the small schools. PACE Business and Legal Conference coming up in April. We do a joint PD with Eddyville in April. We hosted them here in September. And so they're returning that, and it's all around instructional strategies and excellence in those best practices. We have a BSAT level 1 training. So to follow up on the packet is pretty hefty. And so having that training on how do you do the interviews? How do you ask all the, how do you collect all the data? What do you do with that when you need to go to a level 2? So that training's coming up, and Tim and I will be attending that. We have some PLC focused vertical alignment, which I know you are tired of hearing. We've talked about it a lot. And then we have our Oregon Rural Small Schools Network, which I'm a part of, and they lead the inflection work. We have a cohort we meet a couple times a year, and that one's coming up in May. Also sending 2 really eager teachers who want to go to the Kagan conference, which is all around instructional practices, best practices, high levels of engagement. Chelsea and Brittany are going, and they are coming back to train the staff. We're going to have 2 sessions for an elementary and then a secondary, and they're really excited for this. So I'm excited for them. It's going to be great for all of our staff. And when you can learn from your peers, it's so much more powerful. So, okay. Athletics. High school basketball finished. Congratulations to our teams for making it to the playoffs round 1. Teams, coaches, families, everybody who supported them, and all of our volunteers. A couple of you in here volunteering all the time to make those home games happen. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So we really appreciate you. Let's see. I've been actively sharing coaching and athlete training camps with the coaches. I know you've responded to a few of them. There's quite a few. And I'm just going to keep sharing those. I'd really like to see our kids and our coaches start attending some more coaching clinics and training camps, whether individually or as a team. Those are extremely beneficial. So try to get that information out. Winter sports head coach evaluations and self-evaluations have been sent out, and those are closing up this week. So then I'll be doing those meetings and debriefs as we move forward, focus on areas to grow and celebrate the wins. We will be posting for any coaching positions in April so that we can get everyone in line before we leave for summer. Have a plan of action moving into summer. It'd be great if we were doing weight training and fitness training throughout the summer. So when fall sports hit, we're ready to go. That's what I would like to see. And then we are also currently interviewing the athletic director position. Track, baseball, softball, everything underway for high school. Middle school track will start a little bit later. And again, baseball, softball are co-opted with Monroe. So our kids go every day over there. All the schedules are updated on the website, and Athletic Net is the track site, and OSAA has all of the baseball and softball. But all those links are on our
Is
website.
the athletic director position a stipend or a higher, like?
So right now it is a stipend. So we opened it internally first, as the CBA said, and it would be a stipend in addition to a smaller position, but not an administrative position. Athletic director takes an enormous amount of time. And typically when you're an administrator, you're pulled, one of the jobs is a day done.
Oh, absolutely. I was just curious if
So-
I couldn't remember because I haven't
Oh,
seen like an independent
yes.
athletic director here
No,
that wasn't in a role. So I didn't know if it was like a full-time that you were looking for or a
It would be, that's a great question. It would be part-time, but with a less than an administrator role. That makes sense. So it's,
An administrator won't hold the duty.
yes. So
Teachers.
applicants are not
I mean,
administrators.
so
Don't know.
the qualifications of time versus what their current responsibilities are, I can't imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
knowing just what you did for the short time, I can't imagine a full-time teacher being able to do both.
Right.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
I love sports. I can't imagine
Yeah.
being able to put the time in myself with,
Right.
so I was just curious if that's,
All of that is being taken into consideration. Yes. And depending on who gets it, there could be some adjustments to schedules
Mhm.
to make it work. I really want to move toward people not wearing so many hats
Mhm.
to be able to enjoy life, be a parent still, and also serve the school district effectively. And you can't do that with multiple full-time jobs.
I mean, if you open it internally, will you explore external, like maybe prior staff or people that have
Mhm.
left that want to do that part-time? Or is that, do you
Um,
have to?
We have to offer first internally. And so we're kind of going through all of that process right now. And then we
Okay.
may or may not open it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm, just
Yes,
curious.
those are all really good questions. Yes,
I know in larger schools, it's like a full-time.
it is.
You know.
Absolutely. Yes.
So-
Yep. Sorry, I lost my
I'm sure.
Community
Sorry.
engagement.
community engagement. Oh, yes. Okay. So obviously we had training last week. Continuing on community surveys, there will be more coming out for the culture, climate, and the student voice piece, which we talked about in April. We have community night this Thursday, a literacy night put on by Sarah Littlefield, and community outreach. In April, we have a health and wellness fair she's putting together as well. So super exciting. And then, of course, the Apogee piece is the new website and the app that's being developed, and we'll be adding in an Instagram in addition to our Facebook, just to reach another set of demographics. Sometimes I want to say there's younger generation is a little bit more prevalent on Instagram than on Facebook. So adding in that piece. And I already talked about inflections. So that wraps up the community engagement.
Question, really quick. I said back towards the top of the agenda, but it's the personal and authentic book study.
Yes.
I can't remember. Did you offer that to us as board members to be part of?
I
I remember
don't
you shared the
remember.
book with us, but I can't remember
Yes,
if so part of that community engagement
Yes.
meeting came out with how are we building relationships with staff? And
Yes.
we know that it is not within our right to just go walk into the school, observe a classroom or things like that. But I was just thinking as I read this, like meeting at Dirt Road, having conversation and collaborating over dinner, I wonder, and this is a you call, and if you and
Yeah.
looking at the growth of the school and things like that, is that something that can be offered in the future to say like, hey, you know what? You guys can come collaborate together. You can, learn from what the teachers are hearing,
Yeah.
and then we're not talking operations. We're
Right.
staying out of that business, but we're growing those relationships also,
Mhm.
hopefully making it all feel supported, but also we're giving an insight into their perspective
Right.
in a positive and in
Like a
that
fun-
positive and
yeah.
tangible space.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a thought.
That's a great thought.
I didn't know how you felt about that, and I remember you shared the book. I just couldn't remember. I was like,
Did you get copies of it? I can't remember though.
No.
no, we
Okay.
wait,
Just said this is what we're
this is what
reading.
you're studying. Yeah. And I think that's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
was thinking as it grows or if
Absolutely.
that's something of interest. If it's not of interest to the teachers and they want to keep that a private thing, I think we should respect that as well.
I'll ask them.
I think that
Yes.
but if that's something that they're thinking, that would be good.
I think that would be a really natural, safe, healthy way to integrate, because it's not talking school per se. It's more how
No,
we show up, how we operate.
devil's advocate, I could see them being like, well, this is my opportunity to talk to my peers about something that I don't necessarily need the board to be a part of. And so that
Right.
we wouldn't want to step on those toes either. So I
Right.
think it would be their comfort zone.
Okay, I'll ask.
But I do hear what you're saying is I've been thinking about how we can engage
Uh-huh.
more and repair any broken relationships from past
Mhm.
history or just start fresh,
Yeah.
start new, show that they're supported and we are here to listen,
Right.
but not cross that line.
I like it. I'll ask them. Sounds good.
All right. So we are done with principal report. We should go on to enrollment. We had all those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Okay.
Lose one.
Regular tenders. Any questions, comments on regular tenders? Okay, Learn at Home Oregon. Ms. Chung.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Let me put this back up here. So in our board report for Learn at Home, we have our assembly slides for February, like we typically put in there, and our March school-wide newsletter. Our teachers are sending out weekly newsletters to families, and I send out the monthly newsletter. Today we had a tech interruption that we were working closely with Nathan, and I was really happy to see. I want to send a shout out really quickly to our staff. They went into a complete different mode of supporting families and communication and took the day to send out individual emails. So being communicative and working with our families is a big deal for us. We had a wonderful assembly in February, and we highlighted, I know I've highlighted her before, but Jennison is quite the dog show winner, and she's continuing, and she's traveling all over the states, and that's another wonderful way our school supports students. She has the ability to attend school while being on the road, and so that's just fantastic. And I'm grateful that we have this choice for families. We still do our Genius Hour passion projects. That's a big deal for us in our school and gives student voice. We celebrate our students' interests, and then we notice that plays into their engagement in different subjects. So I added a quick little picture about that. And then, of course, we're working, on foundational skills in our younger grades. One big thing that we are really excited for and taking very intentional, slow steps is the treehouse, our tree houses, and that's just been wonderful. So this is a collaborative process for multi-age groupings, and they're figuring out their identity. They're figuring out all of the different pieces and what they are establishing in these tree houses, and it's been a lot of fun to see. So I added in a couple of the crests and different ideas, and then their next step is to create t-shirt designs, and so we'll be working on that. And then finally, I added in our iReady, most recent iReady data. And while we're making great gains in our reading data, we still have work to do in both reading and math. And so I was really grateful today to collaborate with Stacy for quite a while this morning. We had a great meeting on what we want to see and what our vision is for teachers to be looking at data and the vertical alignment. This is something that is well timed, but definitely needs to be focused on. And what I notice is that teachers are ready for that task and ready to move into a deeper data dive and serve students in very targeted ways. So I was really happy to hear that. And then, of course, we have our OSAS remote testing happening for fifth grade science, and then we'll be doing remote testing in April and May. And then our brick and mortar teachers have fifth grade and 8th and 11th have started OSAS for science as well. Any questions?
Have any? Thank you.
And Heather does a great job. She's our state testing coordinator, and she is uber organized and has everyone trained and mapped out. So good job, Heather, for leading all of us.
Heather, I have
I'm trying to make it easy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys do look at expanding to 7th grade, I noticed you only have like 5 6th grade students. right now, correct? 4 or 5.
Yep. Yep. We're around there.
Would the mindset be like expanding to 7th and then continuing to expand and finding a way to offer that enrollment to a wider group, or?
Yes. Yeah, actually, Stacy and I have been working on different ways to get advertising out. We had parenting magazine. I had a parenting magazine that reached out to me, and we were able to put an ad in there. And I think from that ad, we have actually already gotten a student enrolled mid-year, which is great. So I anticipate if we stay the course with ads in different regions, that's going to bring in more and more families and new students. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, I
Or
was just curious what
okay.
the target goal would be for that class. It just seems it's a lot of work to do for like just a handful of students, curriculum wise and restructuring. So I would be hopeful that if we explored it, it would really be to expand to like a full middle school, 7th, 8th, and then maybe whatever down the road, 9 through 12. But
I'm right there. Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I've talked with the teachers. This is our last year that we could do a combo with the staff that we have currently. So we would do it K1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 6, 7. So we have that option. But then we also have to look at where the chips fall in terms of enrollment. So we have a big bubble class. Our current 4th graders are the largest class, and we have a 3rd grade class that's right behind. And we have to make sure that classes are evenly split. We can't have, like you're mentioning, just a class with, a few kids, while other classes have, almost 30 kids. So we're looking at that too strategically.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for asking
Thank you.
that. Mhm.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you, Mrs. Shunk.
Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.
Too. Looks like we are to the business manager's report.
Oh, yay. Real quick, I have to say I love hearing the frogs and the cows in the background. It just adds to the meeting. Anyhow, not a lot of changes from last month. Continuing to work on the budget, as Stacy mentioned. We're full swing working on that, getting all the salaries pulled forward, making adjustments as needed for cost of living increases and steps, making sure we account for all of that. I continue to work closely with Nancy Hall. She checks in on me regularly to make sure that everything is tidy. She's great. Yeah, the bottom paragraph, you can see that there was a change in the interest rate for how much interest we earn on our LGIP account, and it kind of went down, which is a bummer, down to 4% even. I'm not sure how often that changes going forward. I'm keeping track of that, but anyway.
Talking with the
Yeah. All my reports are submitted to ODE. All deadlines are currently met. There's nothing that anyone is waiting on me for, except for the budget, I guess. But anyway, received the Breakfast After the Bell grant. This was already in place when I got here, but it's the first one I have kind of seen. I wouldn't say from start, but kind of in the beginning phases to being able to follow it along. So that's been fun. It's a small grant. It's just barely over $2,000, but every little bit helps. A cool thing, I got this in the mail today. It's a Gold Star Award for having all the PERS. It's more of a payroll thing, but it's still something I do. Having all the PERS reports in at 100%. So
good job.
Obviously, it was for the whole 2025, so I've only been, for the last part of it, but that was fun to receive that.
Still counts, yeah.
Still counts.
Don't dismiss the credit.
Yes.
Thank you.
So yes, that's all I got.
All right. Any questions?
Looking forward to budget season.
Yes.
It's actually been really fun. I'm really enjoying it.
We received any applicants for the vacant position? Hey, for those out there, we still have a budget committee position open. Please sign up.
And that can be staff, can it not?
No,
No, thank you.
it can't be staff, and it's like the school board. They have to live within our school
Okay,
boundaries.
thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there's no questions or comments, we'll move into new business. Looks like quarterly coaching summary report.
Yeah, and we don't have to read through this unless you have questions about it. It's just the grant we received through ODE to do the inflection coaching, which was all the strategic work, but it's also coaching on how we set up our PLCs and how we, enhance engagement. And Kyle Lair is my mentor, and I meet with him several times a month. In addition to Mike Garling and the other inflection coaches, but it's just a summary that we have to do for ODE. So, but it's just informational.
Okay, are there any questions or comments about that? Okay. Certified contract renewal recommended. This one requires a vote.
Yes.
Mhm.
And a reminder that we can discuss stuff.
Yeah, I have a question about this. In the past, I mean, we've been told over and over, like trainings and like, this is really not our business. It's like the state requires us to do this.
Prove it. Correct.
And the last superintendent was very clear that we're not to meddle in this. If we questioned her on it, she would just resign.
Well, I don't think that was that's the message I got. The message I got was that staff are under the purview of the superintendent.
Oh,
It is the
yes.
superintendent's recommendation,
Mhm.
and we cannot discuss staff in a board meeting or executive session. That's
Okay.
the message I got from that.
But what's your take on board involvement in this?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that's what you hired me to do.
It's surely not public meeting board.
Correct. Correct.
I think we all have liberty to have private conversations with
Absolutely.
Stacy, and mine regard mostly how she feels about her staff and their performance and how she's,
Correct.
looking forward to the future, not really identifying staff individually, but it's-
My question is more about the fact that we're voting on this.
Right.
Like it's not
Just 'cause
I don't know. I'm not an educator. That's what you're for.
Right.
well, we're
Yeah,
really
we have to
affirming
do-
her, this is like our information that
Yes.
you've decided this, and are we voting to approve it, or are we voting to
It
support
reminds
add it to the
me, or it
record?
aligns with, like when I bring hires, we interview, we say, this is the person we want for this job.
Right.
I technically hire them. I still need you guys to
Right.
approve it.
Just like we approve resignations.
Yeah.
on the consent agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say also that when your board chair goes in to sign, they're signing off of these contract renewals as well. So like, if I go in and sign, because you're a teacher and you're renewed, and I sign James' contract, the board has actually approved this. The board chair is the signer of that contract. Because I think there have been some questions in that too.
Oh.
Mhm.
That you're not
Yes.
acting out on your own.
Oh
It's
my gosh,
collective.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
I
And so-
wasn't signing up on my Washington, sorry.
And sorry, good question, but I mean, I just feel like this is a protocol that we have to follow. Yeah. But you're welcome to set up an appointment if you have any questions. Can't talk personnel, but overarching ideas. Yeah.
All right, so we have the recommendations from the superintendent before us. Do I have a motion?
She's a motion in here listed. It says, and I'll make it, I guess, I move that the board of directors approve the contract renewals and extensions as presented in accordance with ORS 342.513 and ORS 342.845.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. Laura, roll call.
George,
Yes.
Soren,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
what did I just ask?
Yes.
It's like,
Christine and Emery, sorry.
all right, start over. George.
Yep.
Russ.
Yes.
Jamie.
Yes.
Soren, Christine.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Wow.
All right.
It's been.
That wraps up new
What is your
business.
time change?
We will step into old business. There is none. First readings, there are none. Second readings, there are none. Are there any board comments?
I have one. I would like to thank our staff for stepping up and taking on additional duties, which save our district money, by also not taking like stipends. And so, I'm like seeing that other duties as assigned and just kind of stepping in to wear many hats, but also help in that assessment of what hats can truly be worn. So huge thank you to our staff who are doing that on a regular basis all over the place.
I would like just to make a comment for the record for all those that join us and maybe watch later. Stacey, I think you're doing a great job. I would hope that next year you are not driving your vehicle at 4:30 in the morning to test the roads for safety for our drivers, and that you are not doing many of the tasks that I know you're leading forward. I do. I understand that you're putting an image out there that I'm willing to do the work, and you are too. But I also hope that you are able to delegate so that you don't get sick, and also so you have a quality of life. But I truly appreciate the work you've done. You've done more than I expected as a board member coming in. And it's been really seamless for the community's perspective. Seems like sometimes people don't want to hear that. It's very easy to be on the school board right now. And that's not because there's a lack of transparency or things are not getting done. It's very easy because you have managed this so well in such a short period of time. So
Thanks for that.
Thank you guys.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll continue the good work.
All right. Any other comments? Okay, do we have any future agenda items? I believe OSBA is going to be sending out our evaluations this month for us to complete our evaluations of the
The
superintendent.
dates up in front of me, but it's like all of April essentially. It's like April 1st we get stuff. We got Stacey's stuff, and then we have a deadline for turning it in, and then we will have an executive session. I want to say the 23rd.
23rd, I think. It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that executive session. It's a little bit longer for us to do our piece of it. Kristen will be attending virtually. And then Stacey will be able to join us at the end so we can do that process. Then we'll write a full summary like we've done in the past, quick executive session, make sure we're taking her feedback and things like that.
Okay. And there's currently nothing listed in G date.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because I had a list. So I
Read
was
them off.
Thursday night.
Night, yes.
Got that one. That's about as far forward as I can think right now.
So tomorrow, the high schoolers have an assembly called Hang Up and Drive about texting and driving. And then on the 12th from 4:30 to 6 p.m., we have our literacy night. And then March 16th, the high school students who have signed up for it will have SAT testing. The 23rd through the 26th is spring break. April 10th is a grading day, so there won't be any school. And then April 13th, we'll have our next regular board meeting at 6 p.m.
Question. Maybe a winter sports award.
Yes, I was going to add that in there. So March
when is that?
31st.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, we just confirmed it today. And I'll get flyers out.
And is that middle school and high
It will
school?
be middle school and high school. And we are either doing a dessert bar or a dinner. I think we'll lean towards dinner. Make it kind of nice.
Great. Okay. I will go ahead and adjourn at 7:40.
Much better when you do.
That's sad. Are we offline?